Hey YouTube, we're back again this week for another video portion of the Daly Dose Sports Podcast. Hope you're all doing well out there. Hope everyone is feeling good. It's actually warming up here in Colorado. Like, I know snow is coming, but it's getting a little bit warmer. Had a nice warm day today, so that's always a good thing. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying healthy, getting vaccinated, whatever. This week on the Daly Dose, we are actually looking back at what was going on 1 year ago at this time. And we actually haven't started the show just yet, so we might want to hurry up and get that going. Let's go ahead and jump into the show right now. Wednesday, March 10th, 2021, you are listening to the Daly Dose Sports Podcast, and I am your host, Clint Daly, coming to you from the Mile High City here in Denver, Colorado, and we are back for another week of talking sports with a dose of common sense. Hey, happy Wednesday to you. Hope your week is off to a good start. Hope you, your family, your friends, everyone in your life is staying healthy right now. We are happy to have you here with us today. Well, kids, here we are. It has now been a year. It is now the 1 year anniversary of our 2-week shutdown to flatten the curve of the global pandemic that we have been dealing with. Man, that has been a long 2 weeks, hasn't it? I mean, if I didn't know better, it almost seems more like 52 weeks than 2 weeks. But maybe that's just me. Here is a question that I want you to think about right now, though. Over the past year, how many times have you talked yourself into actually having COVID? Because I've had it no less than, 200-300 times myself. You wake up in the morning, you kind of stretch, you're kind of feeling things, you go, yeah, I feel pretty good today. Hold up. Wait a second, my neck hurts. Is a sore neck a sign of COVID? Let me Google this. I think I heard something about it on CNN. Is it possible a sore shoulder? I don't know, like my elbow hurts a little bit. Is that a sign of COVID? I'm going to Google the symptoms and see if maybe I screwed around and caught the COVID. It is easy to talk yourself into having anything. And here's the problem. It doesn't help that the list of symptoms is pretty much anything, everything. Sore throat, cough, headache, fever, stomach ache. Have you stubbed your toe lately? Do you, have a hangnail? Is one of your eyes twitching a little bit? Are you fatigued? Do you sweat after you work out? Do you have premenstrual cramps? Do you have postmenstrual cramps? Do you listen to country music? Do you hate country music? Have you ever thought about starting a podcast? If so, you probably have COVID. Telling you right now, over this past year, it has been real easy to talk yourself into feeling something, isn't it? I mean, you have to sit there and like concentrate. Do I have a headache? I don't think I have a headache. But you know what? If I tip my head back and like to the left, you know what? My head hurts. My head definitely hurts. I might have a headache. Uh-oh. I done messed around and got COVID. Well, here's the thing. The good news is that 1 year later, we seem to be developing at least some sort of herd immunity. That's good. 1 year later, the vaccine is already out. And by the way, I have to talk briefly about the vaccine. Because I know there are a number of people that can't wait to get in line and go get that vaccine. And I get that. And then there are other people that swear no matter what happens, they'll never get that vaccine, at least here in America. I don't know what they're saying where it is that you live, but here in America, there's a number of people that say, I'm not getting the vaccine. Hey, we don't know what's in that vaccine. They could be giving us anything in that thing. Who knows what they're giving us? Yeah, but isn't it like a little bit ironic that a country that is known for like wolfing down Big Macs at like a record rate is complaining about how we don't know what's in something we're going to take? Like, you can go buy a Big Mac right now. Go buy it. Put it in the trunk of your car. Leave it in there for a full year, 365 days. In 1 year, you pop the trunk, you will open that Big Mac, and it will look exactly the same when you take it out of the box as it looks right now today. And as a country, we eat like 14 Big Macs per week. And then we wash it down with a Diet Coke. Keep in mind, a Diet Coke will take the rust off an old penny, but we're worried about what weird substance the vaccine might have in it. I don't know. Seems a little bit odd to me is what I'm saying. I wouldn't worry so much about the vaccine. I'd worry a little bit more about some other things in my life, but maybe that's just me. Here's another question for you, Daily Dose listener. What have we learned over the past year? Have we learned to take better care of ourselves? Maybe get in better shape. Maybe eat a little bit healthier. Get outside, get some sunlight, get some sleep. I mean, I hope so. I really do. I hope so. But I kind of doubt it. And I'll tell you why. Because I'll tell you one thing that I have learned over this past year. I have learned that as a people, we can't do math anymore. We're not able to. 2 plus 2 is no longer 4. And honestly, we really don't want to be bothered with trying to figure out that crazy calculation. I'm not sure why that is, but it is. Let me explain what I mean. We are told we need to wear masks. We are told that 2 masks is better than 1. So 3 masks must be better than 2. 17 masks must be better than 3. We are told we must social distance. You must have 6 feet between people when we're at the line at the grocery store. Or we must space the tables out at a restaurant. Or like in California, we must just shut the restaurants down completely. It's too dangerous. But you can get in an enclosed tube in a tight space with no social distancing whatsoever, and you can take your mask completely off if you want to. I know what you're thinking. Come on, that doesn't happen. What are you talking about? Have you been on an airline flight lately? Take your mask off while you eat your peanuts and drink your soda while sitting like 3 inches from the person next to you. That's fine. Also, a ton of schools are still closed across this country. Hey, we can't have kids spreading this crazy stuff all over and killing grandma, right? Granted, there's no documented cases of kids spreading it all over and killing grandma. In fact, kids under 18 aren't even eligible to get the vaccine, at least here in the States. But again, we don't want to do math. We don't want to think about that. Sports were shut down all around the world for a while. They have now come back slowly. And I know personally, my daughter plays high school basketball. And here in Colorado, if you're playing high school basketball, masks are mandatory for players, for referees, and for any spectators who actually, originally you weren't allowed to have spectators, but now they're starting to let each player have 1 to 2 spectators each come to the games in these giant gymnasiums that'll hold, 2,000-3,000 people. You can have like 10 spectators at the game now. Now keep in mind, basketball, it's not a collision sport, but it is a contact sport. So you have kids posting up and boxing out and making contact. They've got like their nose in their opponent's armpit as they try to get leverage and try to box them out, right? They've got to wear their mask. Everyone in the whole gym has to wear their mask. But then when they come out of the game, they have to sit 6 feet apart from each other on the bench. Forget the fact you just had your face in some kid you don't know's chest. Now you've got to sit 6 feet apart. Hey, we can't be too careful, right? Got to be careful. I understand. It's an indoor sport. It's a contact sport. We have to be cautious. We don't know how this is all going to go. Meanwhile, I saw a high school wrestling event last week taking place in one of the other gyms at the school I was at. Do you realize that masks aren't required for wrestlers? And I mean, I get it. They just get torn off. But again, I'm not sure how it makes any sense. I'm not sure how a lot of the little silly things we're doing right now make any sense. I'm not sure there is one documented case of someone getting COVID from a pen, but if you go to the doctor's office, they're dunking that pen in all the antibacterial stuff they possibly can to the point the pen doesn't even work anymore. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like we're real good at doing math. I mean, I saw the Big Ten and the Pac-12 destroy their own football seasons, cost themselves a ton of money this year on games that were being played outdoors and in games that ended up showing no cases of breakouts whatsoever, only to see both the Big Ten and the Pac-12 both play full indoor basketball seasons now. So of all the things that we have seen and all the things that we have lost over the past year, I know we've lost some people. My heart goes out to those people that lost friends or relatives or whatever they might be. But one of the things that we've definitely lost over this past year, we've lost a lot of math because we don't want to be bothered with something so trivial as math. And sometimes when you think 2 plus 2 equals 4, you realize that 6 feet of distance doesn't always mean 6 feet of distance. It's more just something to make us feel a little bit better, because a lot of it just seems really, really silly. Hey, if you'd like to contact the show, maybe tell us how you have witnessed the death of math over the past year. Maybe tell us how you've witnessed the death of common sense over the past year. We'd love to hear from you. Hit us up on email, dailydosesports@gmail.com, or go find us over on Facebook or Twitter. Both of those handles are at Daly Dose Sports. Maybe you've got a question. Maybe you've got a sports question. Maybe you've got a question about a certain team. I do hear from a number of you out there just throwing out a question. What did you think about this trade? What do you think about this free agent signing? Hey, if you've got a question, feel free to reach out. We would love to hear from you. Also, we know that over the past year, we've done a lot of online shopping. We're still doing online shopping. So make sure you stop by tpublic.com and pick up some Daly Dose gear. Got a couple of new designs over at tpublic.com. You can pick a Daly Dose football or basketball design. You can pick them in any color that you want if you're picking clothing, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, a number of items over at tpublic.com. Make sure you stop by over there and get the Daly Dose gear that you need in your life. Okay, YouTube, be sure that you go over and check out the rest of the podcast. This week on The Dose, we have a number of things to talk about in sports news. A few teams have already punched their tickets to the big dance in March Madness, and NFL players with big contracts, well, they've been having a little bit of a rough week. Plus, do you realize that NFL free agency starts already next week? We're going to be looking at some of the top free agents that are going to be out there and available. And we have a Daly Dose top 5 for you this week. Hey, March Madness is coming quickly. And we know this year, the Gonzaga Bulldogs look like the team to beat, but we have also seen some really good teams in the past not quite be able to finish the job. So make sure you go over and you check out the rest of the podcast. I will leave a link here in the comments on YouTube for you. Hope y'all are doing well. Stay healthy. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Have a great week.